Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Karthik from IT Learn. Day 5 for our core Java training. So day 4, what is it that we did? Primarily, we focused a lot on understanding two basic concepts team. Was there a doc? Oh, actually, you're right. There was a day 5 that I did yesterday, and then this is going to be day 6 team. Sorry. So welcome to the day 6 for our core Java. So what did we do in day 5? We were looking at conditional statements. The only conditional statement that we looked at right now is an if statement. We will look at select case statements. We will look at while loops. We look at do loops. All of these, along with, of course, the for loop, they make programming easy, team. From today, we're going to go into that next level where you'll start seeing a lot of action on coding. We also spoke and we executed a lot on debugging team. This is one of the most critical aspects that differentiates as to who can be a good programmer and who could be an average programmer. This is the primary difference, the ability to debug. Ability to debug using Eclipse is second step. What is that first way of debugging, team? Using Eclipse as an IDE to debug is more like a second process. What must be the first process to debug a code? Can people tell me? The answer is there as well in the 7th point. See, debugging in your mind before you execute it through Eclipse. Why? You want to look at how execution happens. Now let's do a quick execution of what we did earlier, again in a debug mode, to recap and then move on with today's. Any technical questions, please be alert about it and start reporting it back to me immediately. I see a lot of you are not focused on the current screen. I don't know why. Then at least let me sort it by. Are you on the training screen? I see some of you have switched your screens to different thing. All right, just making sure you're all with me. Now, let's get back to our programs. So I'm going to close this debug tab that got opened up, or let me simply see if I go to this icon here, which says Java, basic Java perspective. So this will show all the windows in that the way we laid it out. So let's click on this. So what if you don't have or do not see such icons, team? Now do note this. All of you I know are early into IT or programming. Um, what I'm trying to emphasize is the fact that any software application, has something called as a menu bar. Okay. Typically, the desktop applications, the ones you download and install on your system, have this kind of a menu bar, file to help. If you look at web-based applications, they have a different menu bar, right from our about us, our product, services, contact us, and so on, right? Now, that's a menu. If you go to a restaurant, you see a menu of what you can order. It's always about menu. That's your starting thing. Now, all of this have very in deep each of these resources and features that Eclipse brings to the table, right? Now, for example, if you look at a simple notepad, does notepad have a menu bar? Of course it does, see, but much more simpler with very few options. And I'm sure this feature would have been added very recently. I've never seen this search with Bing. That is interesting. Let me click on it just for the heck of it. Oh, it's just a link to bing.com. I it's so tough to beat Google in search, and they're competitors, but okay. Anyways, going back to our topic, so this menu bar becomes important. All of these features of the application are there in it. So Notepad has its features built in the menu bar. Now you don't see anything else in a Notepad, but if you go to a Word or maybe an Excel, did I do this in one of our sessions? I think so, yes. So if you look at an Excel, now look at the menu bar. Let me erase these. See, it's got file, home, all the way again till here. This is the menu bar. Now, what is different is it does also have these shortcut icons, are basically the most frequently used things by users or by you. So all that you see here is definitely there in the menu bar. Let's look at our IDE, Eclipse IDE, erase all drawings. Here's my menu bar, right? In red. Now let me take a green color. And here's my icons of shortcuts. Okay. Things like open a new project, save, debug, run, blah, 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 blah. So many stuffs here. Your debug execution during what do you do and so on, team. These are the minimal available features. And you also see you have these three icons here, debug view. Then we have a Java view. I don't know if this is a custom view. All right. Now, the reason I've mentioned about this menu bar and these shortcut icons that have been created is so that you know where is what. You slowly start looking into it. Okay. In your file, you have all the abilities to start opening a new project or saving them, importing, exporting, workspace, those kind of stuff. Edit is all about your current editing, what you want to edit with any specific projects and so on. Source, forget it for now. Refactor, forget it for now, team. Don't worry too much about these options for now. You're not going to use even search at the moment. Okay. Uh, Within the project, again, there is nothing much that we will do. We're going to do everything right from here, execution tool. So don't worry about build, cleaning up, and all of these aspects as well. For us, so primarily we have file, we have a little bit about edit, and then we are coming all the way to run. Okay. Even in the run, just focus on run and debug. Everything else are a lot about different options as you go along. Java has been there for how many years? 25, 30 years almost. So you would have seen a lot of developers going to the next level where they got smarter, they need quick access. So it's been built accordingly. Ideally, Eclipse should have a much simpler version also. Eclipse for Java beginners with very limited features, only does the basic things. Um, then we have the window team. In window is where your perspectives are there. So when you talk about a view, so you can say that if you want to see, for example, where are my variables? Other in Java, general. Okay, now debug. Show view. There you go. See, in debug, I have variables. I can look at memory, and there's so many things. Not really interested in a lot of things. Variables, maybe, as and when you would want to. Okay. So see, I have a console. Now I have to put variables also here. If so, that is how you could customize team as to what you want to put, where you want to put. That is the only thing about views. Now let's go to executing the simple numbers too. I think that was the last program that we created in a debug mode again. Is there a breakpoint here? Let's see. There was in fact another view, window, show view, other in debug, breakpoints and say open. Oh, cool. See, now it tells me where my breakpoints are in the code. So I can maybe click on it, double click, it'll take me there. There we go. The next one seems to be on line number 25. So I'm going to double click on this. And it also tells me it's in my main method right now. All right. So here we are on line 25 and line 12. Now, how do we do a debug run? You're not going to do a regular. Am I recording this session? Sorry, suddenly got that thought. I'm going to do it as a debug run right now, team. So I'm going to click on this bug icon, and that's what we're going to try and squash. Again, this keeps coming up, team. You can check it up, but again, don't worry on it too much. Just switch your perspective if you want. If you're comfortable with this perspective, keep it as is. I don't know, but let's switch it for now. Sorry for those short mutes, team. A lot of sneezing around for me. All right, so great. I have a good view. I'm going to reduce this. I want to look more at my code, less of everything else. My code is my most important thing, team, the way I look at it. Everything else, so my focus is very centrally on the code. Okay, great. So where are we? Looks like we have executed till line 12. And this is how I, Karthik, as myself, or I've seen a lot of good developers also reading code, the way we read code. Okay, I'm reading it aloud, team. So where am I? I've done a debug run. I am right now yet to execute line 12. Great. So two variables declared so far, x variable int 10, y is 10, printed. So x value is y value. Cool. So far, so good. Here are my variables, x is 10, y is 10. So when I step into this, there should be a new variable created here called z, which should add 10 and 10. That must become 20. So I'm going to use the option called step into. It's also your shortcut key F5 on your keyboard. If you hit resume, it will continue without stopping at any other. I mean, it will go on till the next breakpoint, team. So your resume should continue to take you till the next breakpoint. If you hit terminate, your program ends. So if I hit terminate, my program has stopped. But my perspective is still the same. I can switch back to my Java perspective here. And I'm going to rerun this test. Switch. I'm back here. Now I'm going to hit on resume. What should happen? Which line should it go if I hit on resume? It has gone directly to line number 25. That is where my second breakpoint was. I don't see the breakpoint tab here, correct? Let's see if it's there in the Java. Okay, in this Java, it is there. In this version, it ain't there. I could add it, I believe. No, not like this. Maybe here, maybe. I'm sure I can add it from the window, show view, and say breakpoints. And it has added breakpoints here. If I want, I can pull breakpoints down here to the bottom. Wherever, however you want them, it gives you the flexibility. But as a core programmer, use Eclipse minimally as much as you need. Focus on the ability to do your own coding. If you've noticed, team, a lot of times I've asked you to correct the syntax errors even without having Java advise or Eclipse advise you by taking your mouse over something. For example, if I miss a semicolon on line 15 and I go on, so I know that, hey, there is, and every Java statement must end with a semicolon. I must put it in there. If it is not there, so I'm looking at it humanly, team. Correct? I am thinking and saying maybe that is the problem and I'll fix it. I do it and I see that, okay, it's got fixed. That's good news. Now, if I'm a user who's not aware, what Eclipse does is it gives you the ability to take your mouse over it. Oh, sorry. I am right now already in a debug mode, so I don't want to change my code during the execution, team. All right. So let's finish this and show you what I mean to say. So I'm going to continue the execution and it finishes the entire program. So done. Let me go back to the regular Java view. Where was I? So here, if I delete this, there's a problem. If you take your mouse over it, it tells you a solution or possible fixes. So you can use that too, team. But your rule number one or thumb rule number one to become a good programmer is to try and do it yourself first. Okay, do it yourself before you take the help of Eclipse or something to execute your code. Okay, great. Now let us do a brand new program, a simple one. We're going to do a lot of programs now. We'll do some things which will make things interesting to slowly start building. Um, let's talk about weekends. All right. Very simple concept. Let's put something about want to know if it is a weekend or not. That's all I want to know. Now let us think as a programmer. Before we write a program, what is it that I do or anyone does, any good program? You take a piece of a paper, it could be in your mind, or it could be an actual physical paper or notepad, and talk about it, think about basic logic before you start coding. That's your most important approach to what is it that I want? I want to know if it is a weekend or not. So let's break this sentence. Want to know. How will you know? Okay, I'll print something out here. Okay, I'll just write this. Okay. Yes for weekend or no for a weekend, correct? That is how I will come to know if it's a weekend or not. So I want Java to help me tell that. Now it is, I'm saying if it is a weekend, what is it? Oh, it can be anything. It can be today, tomorrow, day after, yesterday, year back. So it seems to be a variable. So I'll say there is a variable and it doesn't seem to be like an integer. So I'll say there's a string variable for the day. And I need to see if it is a weekend or not. So what is a weekend? So I know anything from Monday to Friday ain't a weekend, right? So this is not. Only a Saturday or a Sunday is your weekend. That's my logic. Now comes the actual coding part of it. Got the steps, team? Let's talk about it and put it up here too so that it is easy. Where are we? Any questions so far? I see a hand raised. Does anyone want to speak up? Do I have everyone's attention? I don't want any one of you to please start practicing while the live session is going on. Just focus with me. I might be extremely so to begin with. I will pick up speed fast, but whatever I'm covering are very, very critical points. So focus on them, team. Now, what am I saying? Before starting to write the code in Eclipse or elsewhere, write the main logic down manually. So it could be a piece of paper, notepad, whatever, team, like I showed you, or just like a simple diagram. Then start to implement the first version of the program in Eclipse IDE. Since we're using a lot of Eclipse IDE, team, I'm using the word Eclipse. The same concepts can be actually translated to a lot of programming languages. All right. Now, so it could be any IDE, but the concept is going to be the same. Now I'm going to start writing the program for this logic. All right. I need to erase them all. I need to declare a variable. I need to print if it's a yes or a no. I need to compare if that variable is Monday, Friday, or Saturday, Sunday. All right, that's my logic. Now, how do I write it? Let's go about writing this. Get back to the regular code. Clean out my console, which had the earlier print statements, and now start to write this code. So what's my first statement? I remember I wanted a variable. So I'll create a string and I'll call it as my day. I don't know what my day is. Okay. So why is there a yellow underline under my day? I have declared a variable. I have not initialized it or used it yet. So it'll say something like that. The value of the local variable my day is not used. Basically, Eclipse is saying, Karthik, are you smart enough? You're writing Java. It has to be effective and efficient, a very fast program. Why are you putting variables which you'll not use? So advises. So be alert. Okay, this could be the thing. All right. Okay, great. So string my day. What is my next thing? I want to compare if my day equals did I do an equal earlier? Comparisons? Yes, there you go. So team, just in case I missed to mention, equal to is an assignment operation in Java. Okay. Whenever Java says equal to, it will take the right side and put it on the left side. Okay, that's what it tries to do. So in a comparison, when Java wanted to create saying that how do I compare two variables if they are same or not, then they started using this double equal to sign. And do remember, team, Java is not one of the first programming languages. It has become one of the most popular programming language. There were other ones like Pascal, Fortran, COBOL, and so on. They all use similar logics. They all had conditions. They all had loops. They all had variables. Java did introduce OOPS as a very strong concept. So was C as one of the core programming languages. They all use the same concept, team. Now, going back to our weekends.java, let us close all these other tabs. Okay, unsaved weekends. If my day equals, let us say Sunday, I will print hooray weekend. All right. Else, I'm going to say good try. Stay calm. Now, this is my logic that I want to implement, team. Okay. I have a variable called my day, and somewhere I'm going to put that variable an input. And let me say here, I'll put Monday as an input. Okay. Declared it here. Here is where I'm adding the input. Whenever I want manually, I'll put it there. Go into the program and add it. So we're very basic at this programming level, team. Then we look at how to pass these inputs from a different things. We'll come to methods and parameters. That's going to be amazing to work with. Now, if my day equals sun, then so and so. But what about Saturday? That's a problem. I expected an error to show up here. It did not, but that's fine. If my day equals Sat, hooray, 2 days of weekend. All right. And if it is not, good try, stay calm, not a Saturday. Just different messages. The reason I did is, see, I have 4 possible outputs. Hooray weekend, or this one, or this, or this. I just want to keep them uniquely. Now, what should happen, team? In this case, let me alert you upfront about a warning I thought Java or Eclipse might give me. Can you all hear me okay? Audio, visual, everything. Just got a pop message saying that maybe internet issues. And I've seen the audience being extremely quiet today. Hardly any chat messages. Can I just get a quick nod from everyone that you're all with me? All right, great. Even a single character Y or an S or I or anything is fine. Thank you, everyone. All right, cool. So let's continue now. Now, what I wanted to mention, team, here is something very critical for you to note. In the if statement or conditions of Java, there are 2 comparisons that we're typically doing. Either we're doing a number comparison or we're doing a text comparison. Text means string comparison. So when we're doing a number comparison, we use this double equal to, or less than, greater than, not equal to, and so on, team. Okay. There's also greater than equal to, there's also less than equal to, all these are there, team. Okay. Now, when it comes to text-based comparison, we're just checking if 2 texts are the same, yes or not. That's all we're trying to check. How do we do that? Sorry, where am I? Yes. So I take the left one and I have to compare the right one. Now, it does not work well with this double equal to when it comes to text comparisons. Hence, in Java, they've created a method called dot equals, where it helps us to check if 2 strings are the same or not. How do you know that this is what it is? Now, hence, I mean, since I told you, now you know. As you keep getting introduced and explored to new things, team, keep it in your library. of mine or wherever you write, and then keep using it in every program that you can, and that's how you build up. Okay, now let me run it as is, assuming that this double equal to will work for strings, but if not, I will change it to dot equals. So I expected Eclipse IDE or maybe Java to tell me, hey, you cannot do this kind of a comparison. Or maybe when I execute, I'll get something incorrect. Let's explore this. So I want to run it step by step, team. What am I expecting right now? If I write Monday, it should print good try, stay calm. And it should also print good try, stay calm, not a Saturday. It's still a weekday, right? That is what I'm expecting. I'm going to now put a breakpoint on line 8. So right click, toggle breakpoint, run it in debug. Switch. Okay, there I am. Now let me erase these drawings and see. Have I created a variable called mon? Yes. Have I put any value to it? No. So let's assign that value. I will do step into. Now my day is a string and it has mon. That's the values into it. Okay. It is actually put it as a hash with 3 characters into it. However, the way it stores it is not my problem. Just stay low level. Don't go very uh, no, stay high level. Don't go very in deep or low level, team. Right now. Now, what is my day? If I take my mouse over my variable during a debug run, how do I know that currently my screen is in debug mode? It is still executing. You will see these icons, team, resume and the red stop, these being enabled, and even this red stop here being enabled. That's my way to look at it, that the program is still in execution. While it is in execution, I take my mouse over my day and I see that I have mon here and I'm trying to compare it with sun. I did alert you that these two double two equals may not work, but let us see what it does. So I'm going to do step into. It does print this. Okay, I'm assuming it will do the same on line 16. That will go to line 19 now and print the same, which is correct. Hence my program works. Right, team? Now let's say I put a Sunday out here, and let us rerun this program again in a debug mode. So I've changed that input variable value and I'm trying to run it in a debug mode. Okay. Now at this point, my day has, let's go, should have sun. If these both values are equal, it must say hooray weekend. It does actually. I think they changed it. But whenever it comes to text comparison, team, dot equals is the way. Radhika Devarkonda has a chat issue. Anyone there from ITL and Pavan and team? Just do me a favor, please, Pavan. Write an email back to all the registrants for Code Java. Put them in a BCC in Gmail and send them with instructions where the webinar link is, where the Skype group is. Let them all join in. Okay. I'll put that offline as well. Let me get back to my live training session. Thank you. Okay, where are we? Now, what happens to Saturday? If it's a Sunday and this is Saturday, this should fail. It'll come to line 19. There you go. So actually, it is working fine, team. Now, I will do one thing, team. I hate to use, double equals to for string comparison. Always replace it with dot equals. As you start typing, see, here is how it works. Let me rewrite this same thing. If I'll give a little space usually, open brackets, my day. As soon as I wrote my open brackets, Eclipse gave me the end bracket. So it is assisting me in code writing. If my day, it already knows it's a variable from here, and I say dot, it tells me what is it that I could do with this variable, team, basically, okay? It has a lot of options. These are the inbuilt Java methods. We will be touching upon them tomorrow. Today's Thursday, tomorrow Friday. So by I think by Monday, Tuesday, we should be getting into a little bit of methods, functions, and so on. See how many features are there. It'll take you hence forever to master Java they say. But if you get the basic concepts, Java is all about incremental learning. You have your base language, you have your base structure and experience, then you keep adding. Now, I'm interested in dot equal. So as I start typing, everything that is contained with an E starts coming up, and then Q, U, A. So anything that contains equals is showing up. Now I have these four options. I'm taking this third option, team. Okay. The way it works is I need to give a value into it and say that if it equals sun, then I'm going to do something. And that something is out here. So here's my new if statement. Can I do one thing? I'll do undo this. I'll just cut this away. This is what it was, right? Sorry, 1 second, team. It sometimes take time to finish things. Is my code execution done? Let me get back to my regular Java mode. And I'm going to save this, and I will Alt FA save as weekends2.java. And where is it going to the source folder? So that's good. Okay. Now in weekends2.java, I'm going to add this new code. So that way, you know that, okay, earlier we used this and now we've changed to this. All right. Coolly. There we go. Now this is much better looking code. Okay. The same, I'm going to do it here, team. So if I delete at least this portion, forget this for now. Let me write this if, see how many times I'm writing the code, team, rather than reading it out of a page or something. Just keep writing. That's it. My day dot equals. What do I want it to compare it to? Now Saturday. Then I have a job to do. Okay, perfect. Now let us rerun this code. It shows me an error. Do I see any errors on the line numbers? No, but it does show me an error here, here in the package explorer. Does it show me any red error here? No. Let us say there's a mistake at my end. It'll instantly show me there's an error in the line number, and see even here. But sometimes you just have to save. And sometimes, rare times, team, you have to restart Eclipse because Eclipse is not reacting the way you want it to. I'm going so slow still in the basic fundamentals. I'm still in day 6 and we've not even completed if. Is the speed okay, team? I'm planning to take another 10 sessions on core Java. I initially thought I'll just take 5, 6. Is the speed okay with everyone? Do you think I'm going extremely slow? I'm for sure not going fast, let me tell you. But yes, I do talk about a lot of other things related around it. All right, great, thank you. So now, if it's a Sunday, what do I expect? I expect it to be a weekend. Let me execute it. Hooray, weekend. Good try, stay calm, not a Saturday. Now, this is a problem, team. See, I have a problem that I want to know if it's a weekend or not. Not if it's a Saturday or a Sunday or have fun or not. Now I'm angry about this. Why should I compare a day with in two if statements? Why can't I do it in one if statement? Now here is where the complexity of if statements can slowly start beginning. Okay. Now there is the other way, not so right in output. All right. So this is the first way that we did. Let me freeze this code and do another logic. Second logic is going to be, let me use nested if statements. Is it called nested if statements? Why am I getting confused? Nested Java nested if else statement. That's correct. Nested for loops and Java nested if else. Tutorials point. I don't know. Where do I go? No. Yep, it's called Java nested if. What is the meaning of this team? What do I want to write with Java nested if statement? Very simple. I have a condition within a condition, in the sense, if, how will I do it? It actually, I cannot do nested if statements in this. I will just do something called as combining two conditions team. Okay. Now in this first scenario, I have one condition here and second condition here. Now I'm going to combine them both into one condition. How? I'll say if my day dot equals sat, okay, or my day dot equals sun, then sys weekend, else not a weekend. As simple as that. The difference is very simple, team. In the same if, I have two conditions now. One condition is saying if my day equals Saturday, and another condition is saying if it equals Sunday. And then if I put two bars in between, it is saying either or. So it is going to choose between one of these team. No, my pen is not working there. So it has to choose that if this is true, then it will go here. If else, if this is also true, it will go here. If neither of them are true, then it will go to a weekend. Okay. So very important to get the perspective of nest. Okay. We will come to nested if loop, but or and conditions within, oopsie, if. So this is your or, two vertical bars. You'll find it right above your enter key. And is two ampersands. It is shift 7 on your keyboard. These give you the ability to check conditions. Now it's saying, let's test this first and see if our program exercise works. So I'm going to run this. So Sunday, I just need to know if it's weekend. Perfect. If I change this to Saturday and I run it, weekend, perfect. If I change it to Monday and run it, not a weekend, good. Tuesday and run it, not a weekend. Sunday and run it. Oh, now that is not correct. I want it even if I write Sunday to happen. How about Saturday and run it? Not a weekend. Now you understand, team, how defects come into development. I wish I could have the drawing. How can I draw over here? Okay, let me take fresh paint. Very important concept, team. You'll understand where development has come and where testing has come into place. Now, if I'm asked to write a program like this, correct? I need to know if it's a weekend or not. The developer wrote a code very similar to, let us say, this code that we did. Simple, 4 lines of logic. Total is 35 lines of code. The logic is actually only this few lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now, this is the logic that was written. And who wrote this? The developer. Now, when we want to test it, the developer should have put in different types of possible ways to make it fail. Developers' thought must have been to ideally see, hey, I hope my program does not fail. All right. But unfortunately, this developer's mind only work towards, I'm trying to draw a bulb team just to let you know, only works towards, I just want my code to work. Now, in this scenario comes our test engineer and says, all right, all my job is to try and break this happen. I want to break it here, here, or here. The developer is now saying, okay, I'm proud enough. I mean, I'm confident enough rather. Just go about doing it. Now the tester knows that the basic execution, I will do it. If I have an issue there, I will complain. So my job is to keep on running the developer's code in multiple ways of trying to make it fail. Now I reported it back to the developer saying, guys, listen, it didn't work for Saturday or Sunday. Now the developer complains and say, listen, it was never part of the initial requirement that was provided to us. What do you mean it was not part of requirement? Want to know if it is a weekend or not? Yes, but they didn't know if they'll enter Sunday or Monday or SUN or S. Then that's an assumption by the developer. Now comes if you enter Saturday or Sunday. If you enter Sat or Sun, it should still come. Now the developer says, okay, I'm going to work on fixing it. What should we do, team? Here is my code. Help me understand. I want you all to take a few seconds. I'm going to put this in chat. Take a few seconds, take this code, modify it, and put it back in the chat for me. How many minutes do you need for it? It's 8:21. I'm going to give you 3 minutes. 8:24. The logic is very simple. It's on your screen and also on the chat. Let me save this as weekends3.java. Now to write this, use Notepad only. Do not use Eclipse because you'll start seeing a lot of red underlines. Just in a Notepad, talk about what should we change in this code. Let me take a Notepad myself. This is one line of code and this is the other line of code. Now, between these two, I would like you to look at how things can work. What should I change here so that I can take Saturday, Sat, Sun, Saturday, or Sunday could be the inputs. I'm assuming it's pretty straightforward as a question, team. If you're unable to do it, don't pressurize yourself. But a very simple change or modification to the code is what I was looking at. Did you all get the question and the task, team? Modify this code here in such a way that it will handle any of these inputs. And I'm going to put this as a requirement too. We're about a minute and a half into it, just about a minute, I would say. Take another 2 minutes, team, and try and peacefully write it. I'm going to pause this recording and restart it once I see a few answers. I will in fact wait for most of you to answer back, team. Give it an attempt. All right, team, I'm back and I've got a few responses. And I want to take the responses, but not the names, put it into Notepad and start looking at who's given what. All right. So how do I do this? How do I do extension? Select all, copy. Now, this is one of the solutions that came up. Now, let's look at this as, I will say A. Okay. Team, I'm taking a few minutes to focus on them so that we get to use them correctly. Then I have hash C, third solution that I've seen from audience. Select all, I'm copying it. I'm just going to take the first 4, 5 team. Not taking it from everyone. Did I miss a lot of you? Right click, select all. I'm taking it from the GoToWebinar chat window, #T and #E. Now let's analyze these team. Solution A all the way to solution E. Now, if this is my logic, okay, in this logic, this looks good. If it is Saturday and Sunday, so there was no space, Java will give an error about it. If we're saying Saturday and Sunday, so my input at any given time will not be both. Hence, it will only print this each time because no variable can always be Saturday and Sunday. All right. So the comparison of ampersand and thing and is little different team. Like, if it is hot and it is Sunday, if it is username is correct and the password is correct, that is the combination. Okay, not if it is Saturday and Sunday, because you can only choose one of them. So the first one, I would say, will not give us the right results. So nope, not yet. How about this statement? Okay, let's see. My day dot equals Saturday or my day dot equals Sunday. Okay, great. It will work definitely for Saturday or Sunday. But how about for Sat or Sun? Then it would not work for it, this code. Let's look at next one. This will work for Saturday or Sunday. Starts with, oh wow, brilliant. This is a good answer for sure. If it's starting with Sat or Sun, let us try this solution, team. Now I'll try it as a tester and you tell me if it is correct or not. Okay. Now this is my third one. Why am I writing nested if statements? It's not nested. Multiple conditions. So it says starts with has a problem. Let me align the code a little bit. It makes my reading easier. What do you think, team? This code will work? I see some issue around here. So let's see. Does it give me an option? See, there you go. I just took the mouse over and it said the method starts with string is undefined. It says, hey, you have an option to change it to starts with. Great. Now, what was the difference, team? Just the W was an uppercase. Okay, I will talk about Camelcase a little later, but there's something I wrote about Camelcase. Just wanna at least write what it is. So Camelcase, from an English perspective, all words together without spaces in lower characters. First character of every word after first word will be uppercase. Now that is a camel case. How many of you were not aware of this team? And it's absolutely fine if you weren't. But the fact that, just to understand, look at the logic of how we can see if it's a camel case or not. All words together without spaces in lower characters. First character of every word after first word will be uppercase. Let us say I want to write a camel case for username profile. Okay, so I will write user name profile, all characters in lower cases without spaces. Then it is saying first character of every word after the first word. So this is my first word, leave that. This becomes N, becomes uppercase, P becomes uppercase. Of, by, country. So this is called, let us say, a camel case team. The reason is, example, this or user password or starts with See, even this is a camel case. So that's just a very simple way of representing and writing things. And so starts with, I fixed it to this end. Now let us see if this works, team. So I'm going to comment even this. And my third solution is going to be tested. Starts with Sat or Sun. So Saturday, will it work? Let's see. Error exists. Wait, let me save it. What is the error? Oh, weekends 3. Save. 1 second, team. Okay, execute. Wow, weekend. Good. Work for Saturday. Now, how about Sunday? Work for Sunday. Great. How about Sat? Worked for Saturday. Cool. How about Sun? Worked for weekend. Oh, worked for Sunday too. Cool. So now I can confirm that this code is correct. Right, team? Given what options we have, looks like this code is a pass. So I can quickly go and put in a check mark here and say, okay, cool, this is passed. Now comes another automation engineer who's much more smarter. Will say, you know what, I'm going to make your code fail. The requirement was that I want it to be only Sat, Sun, Saturday or Sunday. What if I write sunflower and execute it? It says it's a weekend. And that could be an issue, team, right? That seriously can be an issue. Now, if you enter the right variables, not a problem. But if you enter anything else, then it's becoming a problem. How about what starts with SCT? Satisfied? It's almost like the QA engineer is ridiculing the developer saying, are you satisfied that it's weekend? So here is where you tend to understand, hey, my logic is incorrect. I need to look at it more. Now, let me look at the next one in what we got. Number D, if it's equal to Saturday or Sunday, weekend, else not a weekend. If it's equal to Saturday or Sunday, weekend, else not a weekend. I think it's almost the same copied twice if I'm missing something. So this is incorrect. So A is not working, B is not working. Should I say C is correct or not? And team, please, in computer sciences and any of our what we're doing, please note that it is always a 0 or 1. It's working or not working. It's slightly working. It is half working. It will take you half the way there. That concepts will not work, team. Okay, it's either working or ain't working. Now, C is not working, team, because if I give satisfied, if I give sunflower, it will still say it's weekend. How about D? I don't think it will. How about E? Sat star, sun star. So I think we're using regular expressions to complete it. That's a problem too. I've not seen any solution completely doing it. The easiest only way, team, is maybe this. I'll not use even starts with because anything can start with. So just relying on start with is not healthy for us. I'll select this code. I use Shift Tab, and a few keyboard shortcuts come to you as you practice. Sometimes it may take you even a year. Now, my day equals Sat or my day equals Sun. That is two conditions of mine. I can extend these two conditions more. Oopsie, oopsie. If it is equal to Saturday or a Sunday or Saturday or Sunday, then I want to say it's a weekend or not a weekend. Do you see this, team? I'm comparing it with 4 values at this in the same condition. Combine them all and now executing it. Now here is a code. Okay, so I think I have to first cut this, put it here, which should definitely work for Saturday or Sunday or so on. See, satisfied won't work. Sunflower, what is wrong with me? Won't work. Sun works. Good. Sat works. If I say Satya, just trying to break it. Not a weekend. Cool. Good job. What if I say Saturday? Not a weekend. How can Saturday not be not a weekend? So now look at it. If I accidentally put a lower case and comparing it with an uppercase here, then it is not satisfied with it. It is throwing an issue for us. Then what do I do? Now comes my next solution. Do you see, team, how many times we are having to try to write a simple code that works under all circumstances? If every developer to begin with starts to think and go in this direction of approach, the number of defects that get leaked into later stages of product or application development will definitely get minimized, team. Now I will use something that is going to be interesting for you. Instead of dot equals, I'll say my day dot equals ignore case. Do you see this? The primary difference between equals and equals ignore case, as you can also see by the help guide that is there. Okay, I don't want you to always rely on this help guide, team, but when you have a question and you see something, scan through it. What does it do? The simplest way of explanation for me is it ignores case. What is a case? Lowercase or uppercase. Okay, that's what it is. Now, if I say ignore case and assign this for Saturday, and I copy this same and I put it everywhere and try this on different cases. Okay, so now I'm trying to become a better and better developer for just such a simple question. What happens to Saturday, weekend? How about if I say Saturday? No, not a weekend. So this is getting better for us. Okay, what if I say sun, just sun? Weekend, perfect. So now it is taking these four with cases ignore. Could be the inputs with up, with ignore inputs, ignoring cases. That's my requirement. Does it make sense? Everyone with me? Did you see how we took a simple concept, a simple requirement? We thought it's going to be such straightforward thing, but it took us a few attempts to try and get to a better solution. And believe me, team, as a developer, I'm still not totally confident that this would be sufficient. I know maybe there'll be a much better tester will come and look at something else way to figure this. What if this developer enters numbers? It's still a string. It should not fail. So there we go. Any questions, team? Any challenges from practice? I've been seeing a lot of you are interacting on Skype. That is good. The links for Skype group, everything are being shared with you. So please use them. And now is a good time to start practicing. Okay. I have not sent or shared the files or any of these yet. I will not share them yet. I want you to start practicing by looking at what we're doing. Once we complete this training, then I will give you that entire package. Till then, only look at my video and write your code. Don't mean to be rude or mean, team. Just want to check on these. Any questions, please? Anyone? Hi, Venkat. I think you just joined. I know. I believe we have our in your text live project, right?
Hi, Karthik. Yes, Karthik.
Okay, cool. So I will join in, more of a listener there.
Okay.
I'm almost done with this session right now.
Yeah, sure, Karthik.
Thank you. Team, great. So I think we're good for the day. I'll see you all back on tomorrow, same time, 7:30 a.m. team tomorrow. Just for this week. Next week we'll be back to 6:30 a.m. And we have a lot more programs to write. We're still in the if statement, but at least we're done with majority if condition. We'll explore variations of it. Thanks everyone. See you back tomorrow. Bye now. Bye all. Thank you.